I want to introduce you to John. John is going to help me explain spinal injuries today, and because he's a skeleton, he's going to be able to show you exactly where these spinal injuries occur. Come join me for a moment. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial attorney practicing law here in the state of New York. In a car accident case, many times we see injuries involving the neck and the back. And I just want to go through and explain some of the different anatomical areas that we typically see injuries following a car accident. We typically see neck injuries, and the injuries occur to the cervical spine. In the body, when you have a whiplash motion or forward motion where you come to an immediate stop, whether you're wearing a seatbelt or not, what happens often is that the person will sometimes experience thoracic injuries. And where's the thoracic area? Well, it's the chest area. And I'm putting my hand right up under his rib cage now, and there's nothing in here. So it's probably a little painful for my friend John here. But the reality is that the thoracic area is from below the neck all the way down to about the mid to almost the lower back. Now, the thoracic vertebrae and each of the vertebrae have things in between each of the bones that allow the bones to cushion themselves so that when we bend forward or move side to side or backwards, what happens is that it's not bone-on-bone rubbing. And from the sides, and it's hard to see in this particular model, this skeleton, John, turn around, we have nerves that run out from the bones. And the nerves then travel to different areas of the body, and they allow us the ability to have motion of our arms and our legs. It also has the ability for sensation. So it allows us the ability to feel things, touch, sensation, as well as motor control, which is the ability to move our muscles. Now, when those get injured, let's say they get cut, what happens is you can have paralysis, and that can be devastating. When you go down below the thoracic area, then you now have the lumbar vertebrae. And vertebrae are just the bones in the spine. And the reason why we have bones in our spine is to protect, what do you know? The spinal cord. And the spinal cord runs from the base of the skull all the way down our back, all the way to our tailbone. And so literally it's a protective measure to help us to protect our body, to protect the nerve system and the spinal cord, which is part of the nerve system, if the spinal cord gets damaged. Let's say it gets cut or transected during the course of an accident. Then you will suffer paralysis and not be able to move that part of your body below where the injury occurred. So let's say the injury occurred to your cervical spine and the spinal cord is severed. Then everything below that means that you're not going to have any motor control or sensation, feeling. If the injury happened in the thoracic area, in the chest area, then everything below that is going to have the paralysis. If it's in the lumbar area, then you may only have partial paralysis from the waist down. Now, all of those things are devastating, and hopefully that never happens. But the reality is that the car accidents can produce some very significant and horrible and awful types of injuries. Car accidents can produce significant trauma, and one of the major traumas involved are injuries to the spine and injuries to the nerves that come out of the spine. So if there's trauma, let's say you have a herniated disc, you may have heard that term before. What does that mean? It means that your body has typically suffered some type of injury or trauma to cause damage either to the bones, but mostly when you move, when your spine moves, the cushioning between each of those bones now protrude out. And by protruding out, what happens now, they impinge on the nerves that are nearby. It may impinge on the nerve going to the right side, which may affect the right side of your body. It may impinge on the left side, and same thing, it will impinge and affect the nerves going to the left side. You should also know of something called dermatome patterns. Each nerve has a particular pattern within your body that innervates it. And what does that mean? It means that it controls a particular area of your body. So the nerve that controls, let's say, the outer surface of your left arm, that has a particular nerve that controls that. And that's a different nerve than controls the inner surface or the inner aspect of your right arm. And the same thing is true for your legs and other parts of your body. So different nerves control different aspects of your body in terms of sensation and motor control. And if any one of those are injured, you will know, and that's why the doctor who examined you, called a neurologist, does different tests to evaluate which parts of your body you can feel, you can't feel, whether you have pain, numbness, or tingling, as well as the ability to move. So why do you need to know this information? You need to know this information because if you've been involved in a car accident, chances are you have questions and concerns about the injuries that you suffered and whether or not you may have a viable case. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick up the phone, give me a call. You can reach me at 516 487-8207 or by email at lawmed10@yahoo.com. I can answer your questions. I answer legal questions like yours every single day. I'm Gerry Oginski here in New York. Thanks for watching.